What's going on, everyone? For today's video, I decided to make a top 5 blackout tips video. I know my other tip video did really well and you guys enjoyed it, so I did enjoy making that video, so I decided to make a top 5 blackout tips video for you guys. It's been a month since the game has released, a month or so, give or take a month and a week, and I decided to make, a top 5 list, my top 5 list of what you guys can improve in your game. So before I get right into it, I do make Blackout content, Black Ops 4 content, and I do make Halo videos and PUBG videos. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff and you enjoy tips, please consider subscribing. It does help me out a lot. Let's get right into the video. So the first tip I could give you guys is consumables as far as healing. So I've noticed this mistake by a lot of people. I've seen footage of a lot of people playing this game, and what I've noticed is that you guys don't use your trauma kits when you first get them. Now, this is very helpful for you if you can use, like, immediately as soon as you grab a trauma kit, you should use it immediately because it bumps you up to 200 health. And yeah, I know there's an argument that if you might want to use it later. Honestly, the best, like 90% of the time, you're not gonna have time to use it later. I would recommend just use it as soon as you get it. That way you bump yourself up to 200 health. Every other player is going to be at 150, or maybe they are at 200, so 200, and with level 2 level 3 armor, it really does help you out in gunfights and in other, definitely just to take more damage in, if you make a mistake yourself. I want to talk about the order that you should have heals in. So if let's say you have your trauma kit, then you have med kits, then bandages, right? So let's say you got a trauma kit and you just use the trauma kit, you're at 200 health. What should you have next? Should you have your med kits or should you have your bandages ready to go? Now, the answer is you should have the med kits ready to go. The reason you want to have the med kits ready to go is because when you're in a gunfight, you're not going to be able to have enough time to switch throughout your inventory. You know how you have to press up on the D-pad and then you have to, choose what you want to use? You're not going to have enough time. That 1 second can cost you your life. So you have to be careful in that scenario. So just understanding what to have in order, is very helpful. So if you could have your med kits, then your bandages, or if you have an extra trauma kit, then have your med kits, then your bandages, then your trauma kit. You know what I mean? But again, this tip is mainly just focused on the fact that you guys should use your trauma kit first. Definitely use the trauma kit first. So my second tip is to utilize equipment. Now, what do I mean by that? I know a lot of people grab equipment, but they just forget to use it, man. And it's very helpful in a lot of scenarios. I know they are not letting you use the 9-bang right now, I think, because it's really powerful. But you can still use the concussion grenades. You can still use the trophy system. It's something that is very helpful when you're being pinned down in a tree. You want to throw that trophy system down. That way they can't nade you out. And a lot of people just forget about it. Barricades are very helpful. Barbed wire, even the barbed wire is very helpful just to block doorways. But just utilizing equipment is very important in this game, in this battle royale. Okay, so I just needed to throw that one out there. I know a lot of people after a month, they're still not using their equipment, so I want people to get better, and that's the whole point of this video. My third tip is inventory management. So what do I mean by inventory management? You want to have the equipment, or you want to have whatever, your bandages, your equipment, the consumables that you have already ready to go. Like, if you're thinking, you should already be forecasting, or you should already be predicting what the next gunfight is going to be like. You know what I mean? And I know it's very hard to do that, but once you're already more experienced and you already have like the idea of, hey, we might get into a gunfight up ahead, let me get my cluster grenades first, that way I don't have to be switching throughout the fight, switching my inventory throughout the fight. So it's very helpful, very helpful just to understand, hey, maybe I need my barricade, maybe I need the trophy system so I could have it ready to go and just throw it down instead of spending that 1-2 seconds trying to switch through that inventory trying to find it. By that time the enemy already has advantage. So you really want to kind of already have your equipment and your inventory just ready to go, you know, whatever you're going to use. So that is my third tip. So my fourth tip is hug the outer circle. I know a lot of people are trying to get more kills in this game. A lot of people are trying to improve. What I like to do personally is hug the outer circle and just wait for people to come in, man. You know, sometimes, you know, other people are doing the same thing, which is perfect. You know, there's other engagements and other ways of you getting more experience in these scenarios. But hugging the outer circle is very important because you just don't want to be stuck in the middle, you know, of the circle where everyone has a line of sight of you. So especially in solos, especially in just duos and squads, you want to be communicating and you want to just let them know, hey, maybe we should hug the outer circle and just take this hill around this around the collapse. That's what they call it, right? The storm. So another benefit to this is if you're able to clear that area out, then you are going to be able to cover less angles. You're not going to have to look at so many angles. You're not going to have to look at a 360. Instead, it's just going to be a whole 180 if you have your back to the wall, you know, to the storm. So once you completely clear that area out, you're gonna know that no one should be coming from the storm anymore. So that way you can just kind of look forward and to your right and to your left instead of covering your whole 360 area. You know, you're just gonna have to cover that 180. You know, that's what I mean, is that way you are able to cover less angles and you're going to be able to figure out where players are located, you know, and it's very helpful once you clear out and you're hugging the outer circle, you know. I'm not saying be in the outer circle. I'm saying, you know, obviously be inside the circle and just hug the narrow side of the circle. That way you can have more benefit and more advantage. If you see other players doing the same thing, well, that's good, man, you know. But if you're able to clear that area out, you're gonna have a huge advantage over everyone else because you're gonna have the hill and you're gonna have, you know, your back to the circle, and that's exactly what you want. So my fifth tip, okay, and I don't like this tip, man, I really don't, you know, but I have to say it, you know, because a lot of players are using this. And, you know, there's a lot of introduction. Well, there was an introduction into emotes into this game, right, a while back. And there's been a month or 2 weeks of people using these emotes just to peek around corners. And it sucks, man. It really does. But it's in the game, so I have to let you guys know that emotes are super powerful if you're trying to peek around corners without, you know, you popping up your head or anything like that. So it's very helpful just to kind of figure out, is there players around me or not? And the one I don't use it, you know, but I've seen other people use it, and it kind of gets me mad in a way because, you know, it's being exploited, you know, and hopefully they can patch it, but we'll see what happens. But I have to let you know, that has to be my last tip, is I guess use those emotes, man. I mean, I haven't used it, but I'm gonna definitely be using it. I died to a guy in solo because he used the emote on me, and it was painful, man. It was, but I guess that's the meta, so I'm gonna have to use those emotes until they patch it. But yeah, that's my fifth tip as of right now. I'm gonna be using all these tips, so yeah, that's all for my tips, man. I mean, honestly, I did make a gunfighting and aiming tips video. I made one for the multiplayer and the Blackout aspect. So if you do enjoy these types of videos, consider checking those videos out, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.